Hi, how's it going? If you're seeing this, you are officially watching the playlist called Voicing Villains. Now, granted, I did technically already make like a couple of posts and polls for this series already, so forgive me if I also use this as a little bit of an update to kind of talk about what's going to be going on and things of that nature and what's coming next. So, if you're kind of confused on what this series is, it is basically literally just me doing a sort of, I want to say a remastered, even though that'd be probably a weird way to word it. Maybe a remake of how I had a series of me doing my own interpretations of characters, my own renditions. There's another playlist of that somewhere. I think I have at least here on TikTok, maybe not here on YouTube, depending on where you're looking at. That series was literally me just doing any character and having you all vote which character you want me to do next. And this is exactly that, except specifically villains. Ranging from the corniest and the most neutral ne'er-do-wells to the most apocalyptic, destructive being of absolute insanity. I plan on doing all of them, or at the very least as many as I can try and do. Maybe a little vocal editing here and there to kind of help me out, since obviously some villains are not going to be neutrally voiced and everything. Now, obviously, this series started with Cobra Commander, and I chose to go with that, and I did it in a bit of a way that was more of a POV thing. That is not how the rest of this is going to go. I did Cobra Commander specifically as well because I kind of like doing the little bit of a sound, except I didn't do him like the old cartoons. I did him in a bit of a much more sinister, slithering kind of sound. Though not to say I couldn't do the original cartoon. Although I don't think this is how he sounded either. I could be wrong. But, you know. Either way, and to go ahead and give a little bit of a spoiler warning, since a lot of you have already voted for him, Skeletor is next. Shredder will happen again at some point in time. He'll be in the next poll to see which one you want next after this one. But, yeah, Skeletor's next. Now, I would like to say the way that these are going to go now is going to be a bit of an interesting way. I'm going to, instead of doing like a POV, you're involved looking thing as one of the characters, I'm choosing to do it in a way of how it's like for some RPG games where like you'll see all the characters that are being voiced, you'll see like a text box, and you'll see the lines and dialogue here and there. And here's some sound effects that get used. It'll look like a video game in a way, just to kind of make it interesting, because I can't animate worth shit. I can't draw worth shit either. I'm practicing, but animation is definitely way out of my ball game. So with that being said, enjoy it being edited in a sort of video game kind of way here and there. And yeah, I just plan on voicing whatever characters I can voice and try and do. The Skeletor one's going to be interesting because I'm going to be voicing a good, not even just him, but a good, like, handful of the Masters of Evil for those of you who are He-Man fans. Now, of course, including on that, I may eventually go back and redo the Cobra Commander one with specifically that kind of way as well. It's just going to take me a bit of time because I'm going to have to, like, redo it all and re-edit it all and get all that done. It won't take me that long, but it'll probably happen later on down the line since I'm trying to get this ball rolling. Now, the major thing that I will say, this series will be really, really dependent on a lot of polls going on, mainly because of the fact that, like, I could come up with every scene and scenario in my head because I have my own scene and scenario that I want to do with Skeletor and some of the other Masters of Evil. And then there are, and same with Shredder, I have a scene that I want to do for Shredder. That's not even necessarily just Shredder, but, like, specifically Oroku Saki versus Hamato Yoshi. Sorry, I think, did I fuck that up? Hamato Yoshi. Sorry. Whereas some villains, I will specifically either come up with scenes or I may use some of their very popular scenes to do my own rendition voice of. But this series, like I've said, is going to be very Paul heavy and be very interactive heavy as well. You are very much welcome to request any villain. It doesn't matter. Because there may be some that I may forget to even do that I'm like, oh man, I didn't even think about trying to do that one. Let me try and do that one. It could be anybody. Heck, it can be Mr. Mxyzptlk from Superman, the animated series. I mean, he's technically from DC Comics. Is he even a villain? Would you classify him as a villain? More of a nuisance, I think. Either way, my point stands. I'm trying to do this a little bit more to do more of the voice acting stuff. I hope you all enjoy it as you watch it and everything else like that. I'm gonna be working on it. It's gonna be great. I'm having a lot of fun doing the editing for it, especially with how I want to set it up. So I hope you enjoy, and I hope as you enjoy, you like, share, follow, subscribe, whatever you got to do to keep this series rolling. Because I'm probably gonna be doing it for a hot minute, and I would love for it to be that I get to enjoy it with all of you, and all of you get to enjoy it with me. So yeah.